Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to Budget Boys Media. Today we're going to be going over how I reassembled the cooling system, and we're going to be working on the E36 more. Basically what happened was I filmed a bunch of videos of, I filmed a bunch of clips of me, putting everything back together, and I wasn't really pleased on how it came out. And I kind of want to change my filming style to where I go in more into depth and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do, and trying to just go over what I've been doing here, because I really haven't been. So that's what we're gonna do. So first off, I like to start with the radiator and the cooling setup. So basically I took the entire radiator out, I flushed it, and then I got my kit. This was just like a fan kit off of Amazon. I think it was 50 bucks for a 16-inch fan. So you run these things through the radiator and you put these little tabs on them to hold it in. It's pretty well stable in there. Also the fan shroud's kind of holding it on, just pressed against it. I ran it as best I could. I got this fitted to where the bottom hose that goes into the side of the block would fit. And then the only thing I have is this expansion tank hose. This is spaced out, so I might trim this eventually to get this up in here flush. Right now it's not going to cause an issue, but it's probably going to annoy me eventually. So we got all that. We got our electric fan that I haven't hooked up yet, haven't wired it yet. That's going to be coming later. I got the new expansion tank in, just put the new clips in. You put the hose clamp back on, and you take this piece off your old radiator, unless you get a new one, which I just took it off the old expansion tank, and that just clips in, holds that, and it's just held in there like that. New expansion tank was cheap. It's thicker than the old one and good. And then you take your old level sensor off your old expansion tank. I forget where my old expansion tank is, sitting in there. You just unthread it and thread it in the bottom. Don't over tighten it or tighten it too much, because it's plastic and you will strip it out and ruin it. And then so that's the setup for the radiator. It looks good in my opinion, and it's gonna do well, I think. All that's left is wired it up. But as I was in here doing everything, I also got new belts for everything. I just went to a local auto parts store and got them, because I didn't order them. I don't know why. I put new belts on, and then I also, what else did I do? Yeah, I cleaned the hoses out, just whatever. And then change the thermostat, use some RTB to make a gasket, because I didn't have one. But like I was saying, as I was in here with all this out, I was like, might as well just do the starter, because I've been needing a starter. I have the part, and I was like, just take the intake manifold off. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm beginning to take all the stuff off of here to get the intake manifold off and out, to get the starter, which is under the rear of the intake manifold, and it's like an E12 socket, I think. So we got like the throttle body, I think this is the traction control. We got all that off. We got some of the vacuum lines off. I've kind of documented where they all go. So I've got the fuel rail unhooked. I had it unhooked. These are loose. I just put them back in there so I wouldn't lose them. And we got the little valet cover off or whatever. So that's everything. Cooling system is done, besides the fan, which I think I'm gonna wire it up. I'm not sure exactly. I saw some guy wired to like the 12 volt for the radio, because I want mine to always be on when the key's on. And I know some guys don't like that, but that's kind of what I prefer. Instead of just having a temperature sensor, I want it to run whenever I want it to. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's gonna be eventually after I get the starter done and all this back together. But like I said, as this was out, I just thought it would be easier to do that. So also, I don't know where I saw it. I think I saw it on Twitter of some guy with an E36 who took his front bumper off, and I really enjoyed how it looked. So I think I'm gonna be taking the front bumper off and see how I like the car with that. And then eventually I'll either buy a bash bar for it and paint it white, or Colin has an M3 bumper actually for E36s that I think he's just gonna give to me, or I'll buy it off from him cheap, and I'll get a can of Alpine Weiss 3 just aerosol and just paint it white to match with the car. I also need it because there's a couple spots I need to touch up on here. So like there's this big spot back here, which I gotta get this dent out eventually. Just pull it out, and then, or I'll probably have to tack weld stuff and pull it, and then paint that over because there's rust. And there's just a couple little like dings and stuff here. So today, I don't know what we're gonna be doing exactly. I think we're gonna continue to take this manifold off, along with, I think I'm gonna take the front bumper off. So we're gonna get started on that. I'm gonna try and film a lot more in depth, and I just really haven't been too happy with the style of how I film, which is just kind of do everything and then film after. So we're gonna try and do a better job about that, and just show more of what we're doing. So we're gonna start on that, and then we'll see how the day goes. All right, so to get the bumper off, there's gonna be 2 screws under here, and then 2 screws under here onto the trim piece, which goes into like the shock absorber for this. So all you do is you got like a trim removal tool, use that. I'm just using this really small flathead I have to just kind of pry it off. Also under here is the toe hook spot. See, you know, there's the 2 bolts right there. I think they're 13s. And then under this one, you just have to take this whole piece off. Be careful with it, you don't want to break your trim. Be real careful with it. And then there's the 2 bolts right there. And then along with, if you have the wheel wells, they're gonna be bolted up in there, the wheel well like shields, which I don't have. And then you're also gonna have, where's it? It's on this side. I think it's a temp sensor, or like an ambient temp sensor. I don't think I have it. I think everything on the bottom of this bumper has just been ripped off. So, you know, I think all that's left for me to do is to just take these bolts off and the whole bumper will come off. But like I said, if you have the shields, you want to remove those. And I think there's a wire or two, like I said, that goes to like a sensor or something. So undo that because you don't want to pop those off and ruin those. So we're gonna do that. Just 13 millimeters, and the whole bumper should just slide off. So we're gonna get going on that. All right, so I got the front bumper off. So what you do is when you pull it off, there's gonna be these sitting in here. This is like the crash support, they sit in there. I've seen some people leave them, and I'm also seeing most people take them off. So I decided to take them off. Here's my, I think the AC condenser fan that's messed up from when I crashed. This is, I'm guessing this is the plug-in for it. So I'm guessing I haven't had an AC condenser fan the whole time, but my AC has always worked and it's always been pretty cool. So I guess I'll either take this off completely and delete it, since I'm gonna have no front bumper and it's just gonna be having, I guess, you know, cold air blowing on it. And I really don't sit in this thing with it idling a whole bunch, because I've always worried about it overheating. So I'm probably just gonna take it off. I might just get a new one and fix it. I think this is one of the temp sensors I was talking about, and this is for the fog that was on this side. I did have the under fender shield on this side, and what it was a 7 millimeter, I think, that was holding it. And basically what I did is, why I don't have it on that side is when I crashed, and I figured out, and I actually cut it halfway. So what I did is I just unbolted this and I cut it right here in literally the same spot, so I still have it for most of the fender. But I really dig how this looks, and I really think I'm just gonna run a bash bar, clean it up and everything, and then put a bash bar on it. I really like how it looks. You know, it's got that, I don't know, I think it looks really good without it. But so yeah, I took these off, and these are just 10 millimeters, and they're kind of they're not hard to get off. They're just kind of threaded really tight, so it's kind of hard to just do it with your hands. But it's just 10 millimeters, and you just unbolt those, and that's how you pull those off. I'm still working on getting this out. I haven't really unbolted anything else. I'm trying to figure out how to get the fuel rail. I started to mess with all this wiring stuff up here. I think it's just the wiring harness. And then I tried to unbolt this because I want more room to when I take the back manifold bolts off. But I'm still working on it. I'm trying to read up and stuff, see what people do. But that's what the plan is. That's what we're doing. Colin might come over, I'm not sure. But that's what's going on. Here's the bumper back there chilling. I'm not going to keep this bumper, I know, because it's messed up from when I wrecked. It's all messed up there. I might take the bash bar off and just put it on, like, once everything's good, so I at least have something until I get an actual bash bar. I take that fog light out. I'm probably going to get new fogs, just some yellow ones. They're like $40 on eBay. They're not expensive at all. And Colin even might have some. I think he does for an E36, actually. So, but that's what's going on. Like I said, I'm trying to do more in depth, show what I'm doing. I took like some of these plastic things off that were kind of went down in here. I just cut them. I couldn't figure out how to unbolt them, and I don't really need them. I might take the headlights out too and just clean this area. This one's pretty clean. This one's not. And there's also a lot of wiring because I did take the windshield washer reservoir out. So I might try and figure out how to clean these wire up, maybe like cut them and plug them or something. So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep reading up, try and figure out how to get this off correctly. Mainly just the fuel rail. I have most of this bolted, unbolted, the CCVs mainly unbolted and everything. So that's the plan, and we're gonna keep going on that. All right, so I got the fuel rail off some. I unclipped those, and then I basically just I unbolted it from here. These two 10 millimeters, this right here, or we'll hold it on to the intake manifold. And I did that, and I kind of just pulled up and I got it. I'm gonna take the injectors out now. There's these little clips holding it on right in there. I'm gonna try and get out. and then take the ejectors out so I can kind of move this more freely without worry about breaking ejectors. And then actually getting this off, I realized I can see that back manifold bolt. It might be dark, but it's right in there, and it's easier to get to because I tried taking all this stuff off, but it wouldn't come off. I even unbolted it, and I really wasn't sure what was wrong with it. So this is gonna be the easiest route. I think once I get this out of the way, I'm gonna unbolt the intake manifold and kind of pull up, see what's still holding it on, because I think I got most of it undone. I'm not sure, but that's why I'm gonna try and just pull everything off and see that works. So I'm gonna continue messing with this, try and get this off all the way, and then start unbolting the manifold, which they look to be 13s, or I don't know. Those aren't 13s, they're too small. There's something around there. So we're gonna continue working and then try and pull this off today. All right, I got the injectors out. I marked them with what number to the cylinders they were. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically all I did was they had these little clips in here. I got them. They had, where are they at? Had them in my pocket. Let me find them and I'll show you guys. They had these on them, kind of around. They had these little clips kind of around it, just the housing, like right in there. And I just peeled them off of each corner, and then I eventually got them all loose, and they pull off really easy. And that gives me, so now I have a lot easier access to the bolt back in there. It's somewhere in there. That's the back manifold bolt that I was worried about getting out. It's gonna be a lot easier to get to now instead of having to fight it. So I'm gonna start unbolting this, pull up on it and see what I got left. The fill rail is gonna be fine. It's just gonna sit there. I'm not too worried about it. There we go. I can probably actually move it up, move it over here maybe. If not, it'll just hang here, but there's enough slack in it that I can maneuver around it and everything. So I'm gonna eventually clean these out. I saw you can put a 9-volt up to them and put brake cleaner through them and clean them out. So I'm gonna do that at some point, because just clean them out, they're out and everything, kind of clean them up. And then, once we get that intake manifold off, I'm gonna clean that out, replace the starter, do all that, put everything back together, hope it works. So I'm gonna start unbolting the intake manifold with these, and then we're gonna go from there. They are 11 millimeter. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 11 millimeter bolts to get them off. I already took these off. I still gotta get that rear one. So for the rear one, I'm gonna use this 3/8 swivel and this deep 11 millimeter socket. Hopefully I can get to it with that. And then I'm gonna start pulling on it. I already pulled on it. I can tell it's still bolted back there because of course there's a bolt, and it feels like there's a couple things kind of right in this area. There might be something left on the CCV, which I think there is. Might be going to like the dipsticks tube or something. So I'm gonna try and break this one off and get it. Hopefully I should get it with this. I should be able to. And then we're gonna pull off and see what we got left holding this on. Okay, I actually didn't end up needing that. I kind of just I just put it on here. There wasn't enough room with that in there, but I put this on there and I got it actually off pretty easy with this. So, all right, let's pull on this and see what we got left. I think that's kind of stuck up in there. All right. Okay, I definitely think we still have one of the support brackets on. I know this one's off right here, but I think there's one in the back. So I'm gonna try and find that and take that off. Key line right here, this one goes to the bottom right here next to the side pipe on that. This clear thing goes to the out of control valve all the way in the bottom, and then this one right here goes to this right here and this. So boom, it's off. I got it off. The only thing that was holding it left was this support back here. So the plan next is I got the injector sitting in the front seat. I'm gonna clean the injectors out, spray some brake cleaner through them. I'm gonna wash this out, go to the car wash. I'm gonna power wash the whole thing out. It won't ruin anything, it's just plastic. Then we're gonna get the starter out. Sitting back there, I'm gonna have to move some of these wires out of the way. I think those go to the heater core. There shouldn't be much coolant left in those. I'll probably just have to pull 1 or 2 of those off and lift it up, move this wiring harness out of the way, just slide it to the side, unbolt it, put the new one in, and that should be it. And then reassemble everything. I should be able to do that today, most of it. So that's the plan. Colin's about to come over, I think, in a little bit, and we're gonna go buy some brake cleaner stuff. So that's what's going on. A couple days later from the last clip, and I just want to give you guys an update. So I got everything out. I think you guys saw, I think I filmed that. And you know, there's a starter right there. So I bought an E12 socket, but it turns out it doesn't fit in between there and the firewall. I can get the socket in, but I can't get a ratchet in there as well. So I have an E12 wrench coming. It should be here in a couple days, so I can get an E12 wrench in there and get that out. We'll get the starter out, we'll put it in, and we'll put everything back together, and I'll film there. This is going to be end of this video of me showing you guys how to do with the cooling system, beginning to take the starter out. You know, it was just intake and everything. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.